All right, all right. For all my brothers and sisters that are currently affiliated, and maybe you were affiliated with Schneider and maybe used to wonder about some things, I might be able to help rectify uh, some of the situations that you may have encountered, or should I say better, maybe better said, debunk some of the myths. Now, this is my opinion. There is no scam going on at Schneider. Okay. I don't think that they allow you to see certain things over another person or none of that. Okay. Okay. When it comes to booking loads, you know the loads come out like ST1 something. I think they're up to like 1.2 or 1.3 by now. If the load, if the load that you're looking at, and maybe you ran that load before, I don't know, but if the load you're looking at has not come out, you can use a system called Freight Picker by a guy, ex-Schneider guy named Don Lane. I don't know. He created a program, very ingenious, 29.99 or something like that. Give him a call, Freight Picker, and it will basically camp out on the load and book it for you within, I think, 15 seconds because Schneider put a limit on him to where he can't have the system book the load right away because it would be unfair to, let's say, me who have been physically just looking at it versus you got some system that's looking at it for you, waiting on that load to come back, to disappear and come back. Okay. So you see the ST12 whatever load number you want is going from Georgia to Wisconsin, and you like, wow, I got to have this load. And it'll disappear and come back when it's ready. You can go on and get it. Now, obviously, if loads are just coming out, again, Freight Picker can help you with that, and it would just notify you that loads came out, excuse me, that fit your search criteria. And I think Schneider also has some stuff like that too within their system. I'm not for sure, but I know you can hit favorites. But that system is definitely flawed because you can press that star, that green star, to pick a favorite load that you want to camp out on. And when that bitch disappear and come back, by the time you get the notification to your email, if somebody else was looking at it, it could possibly be gone because the email will hit. You will get the email notification about the load being back on the board maybe 5 minutes after it's already, maybe not that long, maybe 2 or 3 minutes after it's already hit the board. Now, for my real hardcore gamers, I mean the Schneider low board warriors, okay? There are some spots, hot spots, okay? That Schneider got some big contracts, okay? And to my own detriment, I'm gonna go ahead and give up these hot spots. And what I mean by my own detriment, because hell, I'm still affiliated, and I may decide to go and run some of them lows one day. You know what I mean? Uh, I'm gonna tell you where it's at. If you happen to live in North Carolina, or you happen to live around York, PA, or Statesville, North Carolina, I can tell you right now, 100%. If you go on there right now and put in Statesville, North Carolina, 0 mile radius for a week out. So not today, but look, put in today's date and push it out to the 30th. Okay, 0 mile radius, and press that search button. Go from the highest total rate per mile and see what you see. You're going to see Statesville loads pop up. These loads now they also have these in York, PA. Somewhere in PA, I believe it's York. But I do know about North Carolina. This is how I made a living. I mean, I play this for my bread and meat, brother. And if I ain't win, I ain't eat. Now it's a game to it. And I'm gonna tell you the secret. So that way it ain't even no sense of you wasting your time. Because if you ain't got that secret recipe, you can forget it, buddy. Now, I made my bread and butter. I lived off of this right here. I made $3,500 to $4,000 a week for working 5 to 6 days. If I worked 4 days, I would make 3,500. I work 5 to 6, I can make 37 to 4 or something like that, right? All right, now these lows that you're looking at, they're short runs, right? Go ahead on your phone, take your time. They're short runs. Now, if you look at them, you may see Statesville to Concord, North Carolina, $300. That's only about a 30-minute run and back, and they only take about an hour to unload you. And they're preloaded trailers. So what you'll do is go in, pick up the load, go over to Concord 30 minutes away, get 40 minutes away, get unloaded an hour, come on back. They open at about 8 o'clock, some of them at 7 o'clock. Get in there, get the load unloaded, go on home. All right. Now, a lot of people going to hate me for giving this information. I almost hate myself because it could come back to bite me in the ass. But I told myself when I was done with the game that I would give it up. You know what I'm saying? And the game is to be sold, not told. But God gives me my blessings, man. So you know what I'm saying? He pays me well, and not just financially. But let's get back to it. So now, after you done ran that one, you can get to Concord, say 8 o'clock, get done at 9, get back at 10. Get another one, going to Lincolnton. Get there at about 11, 12 o'clock, get it done about 1, get back about 2. Get to Morganton at 3, get done about 4. That's it. Go home. You ran 3 loads from 7, 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Those 3 loads paid anywhere between $300 and $400. I'm telling you, do the math, you're gonna make $1,000 or $1,200 right there. I have personally ran 4 loads in one day because I knew certain stores, certain places, you get good with these people, and they would be in there at 5 o'clock waiting on you, which means you can get it done. And the place where you get the loads from are pretty much 24 hours, so you can go get the trailer whenever it's ready. Okay, this is out of Statesville. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, I can pretty much tell you when they're gonna come out. Okay, but you just gotta watch them. The best advice I can give you for right now is highlight all of the lows that you want, the short ones, and highlight the ones you don't want, the long ones. And I'm gonna tell you why. Like I said before, the longer loads are going to come out. Let me pause. Like I said before, the loads are gonna hit your email late. You're gonna get the notification late, and by the time you look, the load you want is, trust me, it's gone because there's some sharks in the water. I'm the big kahuna, okay? Or was. They call me the king of the load board, and I got that nickname from one of them guys. And if this makes it big, you know who you are. But yeah, he called me the king of the load boy, and I just kind of took from that. I'm king of the load boy because I used to kick their ass, man. Trust me. It's only so much to go around, so it may be, but it's enough for about 3 to 4 people to eat. 3 to 4, maybe 5 people to eat. Now you may think, like, man, I ain't no sense of me wasting my time, but I'm telling you, you can get in there, man. You can get it. You can get in there because the people that's doing it, they may not have what you have, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. So I don't care how many people is doing, what 5 guys doing. I'm telling you right now, What I had, they don't have, and I can go right back there right now and kick ass because I have something that they don't. So now the reason you're highlighting the longer lows, the undesirables, if you will, let's say going from Statesville to Roanoke, Virginia, you don't want that. You know, it's paying $400. It's a decent low, but you're not in this just for one. You in it to run the shorties, get about two or three of them a day, and go home if you stay in the area. I know of a guy that stays all the way in Raleigh, North Carolina. This is how good it is, man. Sweet as bear meat. This dude stay all the way in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I pretty much educated him on game. He was paying me $50 a load to book at one time, until he finally figured it out for himself. He runs all the way 3 hours from Raleigh to Statesville, North Carolina to get these loads, and he's still making out good. And to this day, he is still running these lows. And if you're watching, what up? Nah. So you want to get the undesirables because 9 times out of 10, 99.9% of the time, that the longer loads are the ones that come out first, the undesirables. So when you get the notification, you're not worried that you late. You don't care because you don't want that load no way. It's gonna still be there because it's garbage. But it's not garbage. But if you in the game, it's garbage to us that's in the game. All right. Now what you do is now you're alerted to go into the load board. Now you go ahead, get your stuff. Now all the while you want to try to have your load board up in your phone. So every now and again you want to go and refresh it. If you don't worry about it. You should still have plenty of time to go on there. Now it's time to get down to the secret ingredient. Now once you get in there, okay, once you get in there, now you got to kind of keep hitting refresh, and this can become very tedious, very boring, and oh my God, when are they gonna drop my loads? You know what I'm saying? That's just what you have to do. You got to keep hitting refresh, have it set up. You go in there, set it up from the highest paying to the lowest, so you still see those short ones: Newton, Lincolnton, Concord, Denver, Morganton, Albemarle, Asheboro, Salisbury. You see all of those, and you still good. Hell, Salisbury is 35 miles away. Man, Schneider paying damn 75 miles. Now I guess this ain't no dry snitching. I guess I'm just all out snitching. Hell, but I done ran the game, man, so I'm giving it up. And hey, get it while the getting is good. You know what? I ain't even gonna do that. I ain't even gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. Some telling me don't do that. I just don't think I'll be a real dude for that. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. But what I will tell you is this. it's it's sweet, man. It's good. Like I say, you can make 35. I was making 35 to 4 grand, but I was running 2 to 3 loads a day. I mean, I was getting up 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, getting it done, getting home. Now you gonna put your work in. You ain't coming home about 5 o'clock. You be home for dinner, but you gonna work, man. You know. But it's easy money. Now, now I'm not gonna tell, the inner some of the sweet licks in there because see, it's guys that's eating off of this, and I don't want to. This is enough for me to even try to get more guys in there so that other people can eat. Now, I challenge you to be one of them guys to knock off one of the five. Okay? Well, actually, I think it was pretty much about four horsemen. Knock off one of the four horsemen and be one of those guys. But it's enough for 5 people to eat and eat good because you can't run them all. Newton, Denver, Concord, Lincoln, Morganton, Salisbury, Albemarle, Asheboro, Lexington, North Carolina. You can't run all of them in one day yourself. So somebody else, it's butter, some bread and butter for somebody else, right? Sweet as bear meat. Now, I'm gonna put you up on something else. I'm gonna put you up. So then the secret is to have somebody in place with some good Wi-Fi connection, Google fiber optics, whatever that is, with some good internet, and you need to be able to call them, hey, woo woo woo, get on there, they coming out, they go and get it. You winning. That's how I did it. That's how I did it. I had people in place booking the loads for me at the house. That's the secret. There's a couple other things that I'll never tell. Like I was just about to sit there and all the way write it out. Oh man! But like I say, when I got the game, I said I'm gonna just give it up. I ain't snitching on nobody. It just I'm giving up a piece of the game, man. That you know people eating off that, man. So anyway, so here's so that's that, right? So that's right. Let's get a let's dial it back and let me give it to you one more again. Now recap. Schneider loads. You can make damn good money, be home every day and off on the weekends. Make anywhere between $2,000 to $4,000, depending on what you want to do. You can make 1,500, depending on what you want to do, and you ain't gotta work hard at all. Fuel mileage, everything, you're gonna come up because you're not burning as much. There's a guy that I'm booking for right now. He's all the way. He used to be on the road, and he's making more money doing this and working less, running less miles, making more money. So again, Schneider Loads, Statesville, North Carolina. A week out. They come out a week in advance. Put it in, do the search. You can do it right now. You'll see the load sitting up there ready for Monday. Those loads right there will be out by Monday at 12 o'clock. I just know the game. Watch and see. They'll be out Monday at 12 o'clock. Okay, so you go ahead and you set it up. Highest total rate per mile load. So you looking for the highest total rate per mile load to the bottom. So when you on your phone, if you scroll all the way down, it's the second one. You got the down arrow, up arrow, something like that. Anyway, it's estimated total rate per mile. That's the one you want. You want it from the highest to the lowest. Set it up like that where you see the highest paying to the lowest, not as far as the rate, the total revenue, but as far as the cents per mile. Which one calculates to be more per mile leaving Statesville? That's how you want it. That's the way I set it up because those are the desirables, the one that I want, and you highlight those, and you highlight the ones you don't want, the ones that are 180 miles away, 200 something miles away. Highlight about 4 or 5 of those, and then highlight the ones you want. Okay, because when they come out, the undesirables are going to come out first. It's going to alert you. Now you can go get your ass on there and wait for the ones you do want, and have somebody in place at the house to book it for you. If you can't, get you a tablet and do it on your tablet. Now I ain't telling you to book loads and drive now. No, no. Safety first. And all this right here is a green screen. This ain't I'm not driving and talking on the phone. I'm making a video. Because Schneider some penny ante motherfuckers, man. Boy, they penny ante. They will micromanage the hell out you. Penny ante. Okay, so that's that. Now, this may help you, it may not. This is only going to help a certain few of guys who either, if you want to move to Charlotte, and these lows been around for 3 or 4 years. I've been doing it. I don't see it going nowhere. Its contract is strong. Schneider, a big fish. Um, so that's that. Statesville, North Carolina, man, got it going on, and also your PA with Schneider, man. Good money on them lows, all year round, all year round. All right. Pray for me, man, because I know some brothers, the guys that's doing this will be mad. They gonna be mad as hell. Man, why you letting it all out? Hell, I told your ass about it. What you mean? You stumbled on it, and some of them stumbled on it, didn't even know what they had, didn't even understand or what was going on. I told them. Now I'm telling y'all. You know what I'm saying? All right, so So then here's some information for all of y'all that work for Schneider. Any last one of y'all. This helps everybody that works for Schneider. Okay? Now, there's no need to go and insert loads. You don't have to go and use the insert shipment load. You don't have to do that. You know, you ever had a load pop up and you like, man, I want this load, but you already booked out and you know how the NAT and NAL all set up. You gotta, dang, I can't get it, so you gotta go insert it because you can't just right away go book it. It won't allow you. It's gonna say no feasible solution because the way Schneider's load board is set up, it's a computer and it's looking at the time. It's looking at your ETA and your NAT that you have already programmed according based upon the last load that you booked. So if the last load you booked is, let's say, on the 15th, but this load falls on the 12th, then your NAT and NAL next available time and next available location is going to be in Kalamazoo, Michigan, on the 14th, and this load comes out on the 11th, so it's not going to allow you to book the load, but it will. And I don't mean by going and inserting, because if you go and insert, now you got to go put it in and do all that. And somebody may not be booked out to the 14th. They may be booked right there to the 11th and looking for something for the 11th. Booka booka. And your load is gone. Now I'm going to tell you a little tip. If you see, instead of inserting the load and waiting on Schneider, somebody in the office get done sipping their coffee and jerking their dick, uh, instead of waiting on all of that, all you got to do, okay, all you got to do is, and then the load will be gone. All you got to do is go into your Qualcomm, go to that last load you booked, and dial the date back on the last load. Sometimes you may have to do the last two, but work with that very last load you booked and dial the date back to say that you're going to arrive there on the 11th or the 10th or the 9th or whatever date you're trying to get that load. You have to set it up in the computer, in the Qualcomm, so that it shows that older date. So again, maybe this is confusing. You're trying to get a load for the 11th, but the last load you booked is for the 14th. You can't possibly get that 11th. That's why they got the insert shipment button to hit that, and then you got to wait and blase skip. Instead of doing all that waiting, you can do this, and it may take you 2 minutes versus waiting 30, 40 minutes, and the load is gone. All you have to do is go to your last load that you booked, which has your NAT and NAL set out to the 14th. You then go to that load in Kalamazoo, Michigan. You select it in your Qualcomm, okay? You go to the pickup, Kalamazoo, wherever. You go to the pickup, and then you, instead of saying you're gonna get there at on the 14th at 8 o'clock, you got a load you want to pick up on insert at the 11th, right? So you dial it back to, you can dial it to the 10th, or if you dial it to the 11th, just make sure the time is at least about 30 to, I'm gonna say at least an hour prior to the pickup time of the load you're trying to get. All you're basically doing is tricking the computer uh, into believing that you're going your next available time and date, because the next available NET and NAL is based off the last load, right? Okay, that you booked. So then go change the last load. It's not smart enough to say, well, wait a minute, you still got another load for the 13th, so you can't do that. It's gonna go off of whatever the last load you is. So you go in there, change that time, and that's it. I will forewarn you, if your ICA is an asshole or jerk, they will be calling you like, man, all your times and stuff is mixed up, messed up. So try not to be lazy, man. If you got an asshole that, try not to be lazy. After you get the load, go back in there, change everything back so that it's lined up, change the times and stuff like that so everything lines up. You don't want to leave that Kalamazoo load showing that you ain't gonna get there to the ninth, or you gonna get there on the ninth and you supposed to be there on the 14th. You know what I'm saying? So you need to change it back once you get the load. So once you change that last load to 14th and say you're gonna get there on the ninth or the 10th or even wee hours of the morning on the 11th, then you can go in and you can book the load for the 11th. You give it some time, then you go into your phone, your app. After you set it in there, you set the pickup time and the delivery time all back to the 11th. Everything on that last load that says on the 14th that got you jammed up, that got you thinking you need to go insert that way, everything on that load, you need to change that last load to set it back to the 10th or the ninth or whatever. Just make sure it's before the load you trying to book. Okay, and then you trick it like that. You hit, reason, just say, uh, whatever reason you want. Driver related. I think that's one of the options, but it doesn't matter. And then it's gonna go through. Give it about 5 to 10 minutes. Go on your cell phone. 5 minutes later, just keep hitting refresh, and you're gonna see your NAT is gonna change right before your eyes. And then you go and then you have to set it, dial it back, whatever. You can do it then, because now you gotta your thing still on your phone, still gonna say the 14th. Then you gotta go on your phone, and you see it right there. Then you change it the date to the whatever you see that you had set it to. You set it as close to that because I think you only set it like 30-minute increments or whatever, whatever. Hell, man, look, if you got any questions or anything about this, just put it down below, man. And I'll answer the questions, man. If you're not totally understanding, to help you out with that. Now that one right there will help out anybody, man, because I just sat there one day, man. Like I said, the power of the mind. When you want something, man, you bring it to fruition, man. You bring it into fruition. You bring it to yourself, man. You bring it. And I got mad one day. I was like, I was on these loads and they was dropping them out of order, and I'm like, damn, man, I can't get this load. I'm like, you know what? All this going off of the last load, right? The NAT, because it shows you in that box. When you go on your mobile app, it's showing the box right at the top and nada nada. You know what I mean? I said, well, damn, let me try this. And it worked. I said, if it's going off of my NAT and NAL is based off of the last load I booked, I can change that. Let me go and change it. And then I went back and watched and I refreshed. And sure enough, it jumped back. And then I changed it at the bottom. You know how the screen is. Then I changed it to the date to line up. And, that was it, man. So, like I said, man, if you have any questions at all, hey man, leave it at the bottom. I'm new to YouTube, so y'all just late. And maybe it's a couple guys out of the four horsemen. I believe all of them know now, I'm sure. Because they be popping me sometimes. I be trying to book my dude and I know that they using it. But hey man, you can't outgive God, man. You can't outgive the spirit, you know what I mean? Whatever it is you believe in, karma, whatever, you know, when you look at somebody, whether you know it or not, and you know it, then sometimes you have to be reminded. It's all about remembering. But when you look at somebody, black, white, brown, or Chinese, their reflection and your reflection, you are inside of them and they are inside of you. Because your reflection, your light energy is in their eyes. If you look into their eyes, step close to the person you looking at and see if you can't see a mirror reflection of yourself looking right out at yourself out of their eyes. So when you do unto others, you are doing unto yourself. I and I, as a roster may say, I and I am in your eye. I in I. Yeah. Stay off the weed. I'm drug free, man. I'm just high on life, man. I'm just high on life. I just wish I just started getting serious when I was younger, man. But anywho, so that's it. That's all. You can't outgive the spirits that be. You cannot outgive God. You know, you can't. You cannot possibly do it. You cannot possibly do it. And remember this: if this earth yields seed and food, berries and nuts and all that for animals that walk on all fours, how much more is for you? Think about it. You got to take and say, man, I no longer believe, not a believer. Beyond that, I'm a knower. You can't believe in God. You got to know in God. You got to can't believe in him. You got to know him, right? You got to know that it's real. You got to know that the spirit is real. And that's when you reach that other level when you know, but you can't fool yourself. You can, but you can't. What I mean by that, you can fake it till you make it. Hence the reason you have mental transmutation. The exoteric side, I'm sorry, the esoteric side of alchemy. The esoteric side of alchemy, mental transmutation. I'll leave you with this. There's a saying, and I'm sure I said it in one of my other videos. Watch your thoughts because your thoughts become your words. Your words become your actions. Your actions become your habits. And your habits will become your destiny, your legacy. So it all starts with a thought. It all starts with a thought. And then the thought becomes word. And the word becomes action. In the beginning there was God. Could say in the beginning there was the thought. In the beginning there was God. And then God spoke a word. And after he spoke that word, let there be light, it was what? Light, action. Thought, God in the beginning was Almighty Mind, who spoke words into existence, spoke it. Watch your thoughts. Thoughts become your words. Your words become your action. Your actions become your destiny, your habits. Your habits become your destiny, your legacy. So whatever you think, guard it. Guard it. As they say, be careful what you wish for. Until next time.